I don't get it. You should not be loading. So I don't know if you guys are doing this, but it's hard to resist doing a little farming when we're getting double mats, given the whole lack of mundane runes thing. All right. No, I'm not live yet. Bummer. So there are houses to look at. Not a ton of them. And that's okay, because there's other things that we can do. And in fact, we can do some building. We can do all sorts of things. But for the moment, there we go. Okay, the stream started. Good. Let me close some things, see if I can kill the stream lag. Backblaze, goodbye. No. Pretty much everything open needs to be open except for maybe Discord. There. Not really much going on. I'm kind of boring. I'm in a lot of pain today, so I'm on some pain medication. Good morning, Raven. So if I'm not coherent, that's why. Or at least that's what I'm going to blame it on, even if it's just, you know, not that. Even if it's just me being incoherent. Cause, why not? You bear. You. So it looks like, you know, on ESO Live yesterday, there was an announcement that they're going to talk about the winners of the Tamriel Together contest on, I believe they said the 28th. So that's something to look forward to. I don't know if your guilds have entered that, but a lot of them have. So that should be fun. Good morning, Evil Bob. So we have that to look forward to, rather. No, I'm not trying to touch that. Yeah. Yeah, potatoes open. Go ahead and hit it and potato it up. There we go. This should help a lot. So, yeah, we're pretty limited on houses, but that's okay. Don't forget the event is going on. We're getting double the, I think it's experience, double nodes, double whole lot of things. So don't miss out. Plus drops. Drops are good. Drops are good, man. Just waiting for a few more people to show before we get started. And then we'll move on to housing. Woot woot! If you guys have any questions about what contests are ongoing, it's in my Discord as well as on the forums now. I keep it updated. I don't think that I'm going to post it today in chat because I'm trying to keep Discord closed, given some lag issues, so you're gonna have to go and seek it out if you want it. I am currently still working on... Did you get it? Oh, you farmed all the pieces. I read that first as farmed all of the places. And I was gonna say, did you get them all? So congratulations. I don't know what it does. I got 2 pieces of 2 leads for the scarab yesterday. Just regular farming for, I was farming for recipes and stuff in the dwarven dungeons. Yeah, I totally need to do it. It's very rewarding financially. But yeah, I was just farming yesterday for plans, you know, especially solitude plans. Now I'm starting to pick those up because I never bought them, because every time I found one I would try to sell it. So now when I find one, I've been eating it because the prices went down significantly. No point in holding on to that stuff and trying to sell it when nobody's buying. But nobody's buying my mundanes either. So either I have them priced too high, which is entirely possible, or people are holding out to get their own because of that weekend thing. I just hit MM price, so it's entirely possible that I'm like way out of whack. Because I didn't put a lot of effort into seeing whether or not I was right or not. Usually I do. But yeah, furnishings right now, ton of money. And a lot of people aren't buying the diagrams and etc. that are up because they're so expensive, and I'm guilty of it too, but in a way that I don't feel bad about. For example, what I'm talking about is I found a really rare diagram yesterday, and I put it up for a stupid amount. And the stupid amount I put it up for was not because I actually need the money, but more so that, like, I'm kind of trying to keep my slots full, and I'm having trouble doing it. And so in a way, I kind of appreciate the idea of something not moving for a little while, and I don't have to replace it all the time. So I'm just sort of, I haven't really been interested in going shopping for like I usually do for things. Where the hell am I? Redguard grills sell great. I have done that myself. They sell really good. Anything animated, that includes lights, and food items, like fake food, sell well. They really do. And grills are in there under what I consider animated. You can interact with it, and it has the fire animation, so it's definitely worth it. I think, anyway. A lot of people have been trying to sell like benches and shit, and like that isn't gonna sell. What might sell is you might have some luck with some structural items, but that usually is better around a new house release, and you may want to hold off on that until such time as there is a new house release. But I'm sure they're still selling because of Antiquarian. People still working on that. And I mean, there's some of us who work on houses all the time in varying extents. But yeah, those things sell well. I've been seeing a lot of people asking for help on knowing what to sell. I mean, herbs pretty much always sell, but sometimes they take a little longer. But yeah, grills are a good one to make. You could probably sell the incense too, because that's animated. Although, be careful, you know, don't go overboard with any of them. You know, try to put some diversity in your portfolio. Good morning. I'm going to start looking at houses. I just want to finish farming this one node, and then we will go. A farming we will node, a farming we will node. I had a terrible night. I did not sleep well. Had terrible pain, really bad fatigue last night, and woke up at like 4 in the morning, unable to sleep because of the pain. Jeez, this node has a lot of thingies in it. It was a rough night. So, I am on meds this morning, so I may be a little out of it. I apologize. Thank you for bearing with me. See, that's something I read recently that I need to start doing. I read somebody say, instead of apologizing all the time for limitations, start thanking people for understanding. So I need to start switching out, I'm sorry, to thank you for bearing with me. Oh, it's okay. I'm used to it. But it's, some days are worse than others. Some days are fine, you know? Well, as fine as they ever are. But other days are a lot more difficult to handle. So just so you know, some of you, I can't imagine any of you don't know, but I figured I'd say so. Hey, Azalea. What you should do when you're farming is be sure when you're doing surveys that the ones that have multiples, you can just keep running away from and then back to the same spot over and over again. And, well, you know, it's hard not to. It's hard. It's like an automatic reaction to it. You know what I mean? It's because I get embarrassed about having these problems. So, you know, it's one of those things. Got a contact from my ex-boyfriend from high school yesterday, reaching out to me saying that he said I have a lovely reading voice for my videos and that I should do some children's book reading because he thinks his kids would love it. He's got kids now and a wife and everything, which is fine. He's a nice guy. He's not the one who got away. The one who got away is the one I'm married to now, so I guess he didn't really get away. He tried. Actually, I tried. I was the one who let him go. I was not smart at the time. But it's all better now. No, it's true, and I need to get better about that. If I had learned how to do that thanking instead of apologizing thing back when I was working in law, maybe it might have helped me do better, but, you know, you live, you learn. All right, let's look at a house, shall we? All right, community open houses, we got the favorites. So these are the ones I've saved. Let's go to Irish Savers, Antiquarian. That's the oldest one I have saved. Happy to Diwali to anyone who celebrates. Yesterday was really hard with my boy Van Gogh and Sherry, my new cat. They do not get along. And it's just getting more and more frustrating to hear him, hey MJ, crying all the time. So I got this app someone recommended to me called Meow Talk, and it's free. And essentially what it is it listens to your cat's meow and tells you whether or not tells you what they're saying, quote unquote, because essentially cats don't meow at each other in the wild. They have a language that they really just use with us. They're trying to communicate with us generally. So this one is from some scientists, and they did it with cats. They have a few phrases like I'm hungry or whatever, and the ones that I was getting from, this is, by the way, Irish Saber, 487 out of 600. Nice lighting here. Also a combination statue of multiple things. So I tried it with my boy, who's been also really good lighting. Look at that, the blue behind the red. It really looks great. He's just been nonstop. Oh, wah, oh, wah, oh, wah. And I mean, he won't stop no matter what we do. And my husband and I are just like completely just friggin' over it. And we took him to the vet, 2 different vets, because I wanted a second opinion, and he came back fine, but he just keeps making this awful noise. This is a gorgeous kitchen. Look at that lovely flooring, and it's been broken off, and the backsplash and everything. Really good job here. Oh, look at that sink with the disabled clock underneath. That looks fantastic. Let me close my map. So the app is still under construction, and they admit that it's not perfect yet. Also, you can create a profile for your cat, and so it will learn what your cat sounds like and work like it's like got AI and shit that's trying to help it out. Bathroom. So also they split up this house. This house does not normally look like this, which is really neat. I'm impressed with the breakdown. Also, that throne doesn't normally have Eleanori sconces, so that looks pretty fantastic. Really good cobbles in here. So the first time I caught it, it said, "I'm angry." And then I caught it a second time, and it also said, "I'm angry." When I tried to make the sound, it said, "Hello?" Your cat is saying hello. But clearly that's not true. But apparently that's apparently that's what he's saying is, "I'm angry." Now, one time late in the evening, I caught it again when he was doing it, but I didn't catch it like the full meow. And they said he was saying, "I love you," which clearly is not the case, because he cannot stand the other cat. I'm inclined to believe that he was in fact saying, "I'm angry." Yeah, it's under, I mean, don't expect miracles right away. It's clearly still, no, he's just like non-stop. Awa, 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 like with that pathetic sound to it. Look at that, they put a kitty inside. Yay! And it's so annoying, but we at first thought that he was scared or in pain. But he's certainly not in pain, and he doesn't seem to be scared because he's not running away from the other cat. So I figured he was warning her off or just feeling sad or depressed because he doesn't like the other cat. But if it's true that he's angry, that's an interesting thought, and we should look into options for that. I'd never thought of the fact that a pathetic sounding meow like that would be, "I'm angry." I always took it as, "Help me," or "I'm pathetic," or something, you know? I don't know. Ooh, this is pretty. Oh, look at that house made of arbors. Maybe. He's just a dick, honestly. Oh, nice thing here. Sinking that in looks good. He just doesn't like the other cat. Well, I've had cats that communicate really well with me. My cat Meadow, if she said something, she had something to say and it was important. Like, it was usually, "I need food," or "I hurt," or something like that. And it always panned out pretty much. And she would lead you to what she wanted. So you'd get up and follow her into the kitchen when she meows at you, and her plate would be empty, right? It always panned out. I gotta check one thing in here. So I always felt, I always felt like that was the situation with her. Okay, no other steps up. That's what I was wondering. What happened with the other steps? Okay. No, he's maybe. Maybe? Hey, blue cow dogs. It's hard to say. All right, let's go to a different one. We'll go to Pride of the Covenants, colossal. So yeah, it's a weird thing, and I'm actually really kind of glad about this app if it's right. We got Feel Away, did nothing. So there's other options with angry cats that you can take, like, you know, comfort things that will calm them down a little bit. So that's what I'm going to look into if the app keeps saying that he's angry. The app is called Meow Talk, and a bunch of people sent it to me when I was complaining about my cat nonstop yowling. It is not even a yowl. It's just pathetic. And I don't know what's wrong. And so one of my husband's half-brother said, just shoot him with the water gun and they'll stop. And it's like, wait, no, no, this isn't about making him stop yowling. This is about finding out what's wrong that's bringing on the yowling. That's interesting. I mean, I would rather fix whatever's wrong than nice shelving. Look at the upside down glasses. That looks really good. We have that in our kitchen, like upside down glass holders. This is a really elegant, oh, that's neat. Huh. There's part of that I don't recall seeing before. And I was like, no, I want to fix the problem itself. I don't want to just shut him up. He's 15 years old and he needs a little bit of a gentle hand with things. He's had a very hard life before he came to us. That's why he only has one ear. Things were not good for him growing up. And he's all right. He's a good boy. Usually, when he's not yowling. I don't know. These are my kids. I don't have real kids, so, you know, that's why I talk about my cats all the time. They are my kids, essentially. Okay, no effects in this house, but it's almost full. And it's rare. Oh, that looks really good. Look at that crane kind of situation here. Loading thing. It's rare for me to mark down a colossal as something to go back to because I don't enjoy usually running around in colossals because of the huge open spaces that are empty and you're like running around going, what am I looking at? This person clearly tried to do everything, but made some really cool stuff like this forge, I guess, this enormous forge. And then they have all of these things to work on. I don't know what that is. Common wheelbarrow. That's interesting. Don't know that I've ever seen anyone do that. Flip it upside down like that. Well, yeah, I mean, my sister actually has 3 kids. And I mentioned something about the fact that I don't have kids the other day on Facebook, that I only have cats, and she said, you know, you're a really good person who buys rescue kitties and gives them a second chance at life. And she's like, just because you don't have, you know, normal kids doesn't mean that you're not caring and nurturing or whatever. I forget exactly what she said, but it was a really nice thing for her to say. You know, it's funny. It's like, I don't know anyone who is super thrilled that they have kids once they have them. I think it's a mixed bag, if I had to guess. I think kids are a lot of work, and I think it's a big sacrifice in some ways, but of course it's rewarding in others, so who the hell knows, right? Here we've got barracks almost, or maybe just where the sailors sleep. Sometimes people decorate down here, but most of the time they don't. They added a little floor though. Okay, let's go back up. I'm glad I don't have kids. My health isn't good enough to take care of a person. It's barely good enough to take care of an animal. Nice kitchen here. And if it wasn't for my husband, I'm not sure I could handle 2. I've been able to handle 1 before by myself, but 2 might be too much. Too much? How do you get up to that thinger there? How do you do that? What am I missing? Is there a walkway? I guess you just go inside? Oh, I see it now. Elegant bedroom. Can you believe this house is full? I mean, they tried to do the whole thing, and for that I give them credit, but it's hard to believe that this house is full. I think I missed something. Oh, here we've got a bunch of different busts. The word always leaves me, busts. If you have this house, my recommendation to you is, unless you absolutely want to decorate the whole thing, I wouldn't. I would pick a section that you like, and go with it. Like either the boats, like a lot of people want a boathouse, right? And have wanted a boathouse for a really long time. This house definitely answered that. Maybe you want the ruins, you know, over there. Maybe you want to use this island or this island. I would recommend doing that rather than trying to cover everything, because you're never going to be able to do it. You're never going to cover everything to your satisfaction. Hi, Garish. Because of the fact that the house is so enormous. I've maybe only seen twice when people actually did what I thought I would do in this area, which is I would have probably built in that open air section with a water view down, but I would have used like that. Oof, that's rough. That is really rough. Yeah, my sister and I are very different creatures. I would agree with that. And I don't know if we take after our parents so much as just we're just so incredibly different from one another. Okay. So that was the colossal. Now on to another antiquarian. Yeah, right? We did talk to Cardi about that, so I think that information's being relayed back as much as can be, right? I don't know how much he's allowed to give ideas or communicate things. The views are beautiful. That's why I'm saying, if you take a part of it, you might be able to do it. Okay, this isn't done. Why did I bookmark this? To come back to it? I'm assuming. It's interesting, but it's not done. I'm gonna poke my nose out the back. That is enormous. That's why I bookmarked this, because it's enormous and it's in progress. Yeah, it really is. That is a lot of structure. I don't know if they don't have an exterior or if they're going to have one. It would be cold in there. They have a lot of slots. They could probably cover it if they use big enough items. Yeah, I've been doing that. Well, you gotta remember, I mean, if you're gonna do this non-magic worldy, if you're gonna do this just sort of reality-based, then you have to remember it's gonna be freezing cold if you don't close up the front. Well, maybe it is a dollhouse. If it is a dollhouse, it makes perfect sense. Let me add that. No. Oh, I already unclicked. That's fine. Okay, Oblivion, Stargazers, Bastion. Another biggin. I know I should be building more. But I haven't really felt what the next step should be. All right, so here we are. Oblivion Stargazer, completely full. All right. The house is just Bastion Sanguinaris, and it's no effects, but entirely full. Well, I kind of feel like I owe it to you guys on light days to do some building, but I think we have a spooky house. Oh, as a novice? I mean, if it's literally your first house, get an apartment. You can get them for 1,000 gold or for free if you do the quest. That would be my first suggestion. My second suggestion after that is Sleek Creek. Now, there's a lot of disagreement with me about that one. People tend to think that other ones are better, but I like Sleek Creek as a second house because it has a water feature. How pretty. And it has a lot of things that you can do with it. But and it's small, so if you don't want to do a lot, you don't have to do a lot. But yeah, definitely an apartment first. Those can be challenging, but that's my suggestion. Wow, this is different. I wasn't expecting this. Okay, so they put the blue azure light up, which really changes the appearance of this room. Plus, they've got other lighting that's blue. Plus psijic lighting. Blue candles. It's very interesting. I don't know. I felt like, I mean, on Lovathi level, probably. But for the average person who's going to be doing it, I don't think they're going to have the problems that you probably are facing, Lovathi. I mean, I've seen your Sleek Creek, and I know what you've done with it. Your old Sleek Creek was, you did a bunch of out-of-bounds stuff with it on an island outside of it, but you also built up and had stuff underneath or something. I just remember that it was very complex, what you did with it. So, but I think the average person probably could just garden it, stick something in the house, and do something with it satisfyingly. I did a farm in there first. I did Charlotte's Web. I turned it into a barn. Right. Whoa! Somebody made unexpected, what's his name? Hermaeus Mora is unexpected. Nicely done. Yeah, all of the ones you're naming are good. Autumn's Gate, Blackvine Villa, all of them are good, but especially for the price. But the difference between those and Sleek Creek is that Sleek Creek has water feature. And I think that really makes a difference. Of course I remember. I can remember houses. I can't remember shit about anything else, but I remember houses. If people ask me, like, have you ever seen a this? I can usually find it, no problem. I have a very good memory for words and things that I've seen. Seeing is my remembrance. It's how I remember things, is seeing them. I'm very visual like that. Oops. Nothing there on that island, so we'll go back to the beginning and go to the side this time. So there's that. Can't remember words, like words that are normal and sane, like banner. I wrote that down so that I would have that in front of me the next time I lose the word. Arthritis does crazy shit to your head. I lost the word banner. I lost the word greenhouse and hourglass. I've been writing them down so that when I lose the words, I can refer to them, and I want to see if that actually works. You know what occurred to me is when I saw this painting, the Psylence strides forth, I didn't realize it, but that looks like that could be Rada al-Sarayan, doesn't it? Now that we know him better. Just saying. Yeah, chemo does it. Chemo's awful. Are you on chemo, Del? And I didn't know it? Nice little crafting room. That's true. It is sensible that way, but if that's what... If you're mostly concerned about the location, maybe. I can tell you that for hourglass, when I look at it, my brain goes to sand. Greenhouse, I look at it and I think glass. And so I try to say things saying glass or sand or something like that. My brain does not compute like it used to, where it used to say... Yeah, see, there's a whole lot of choice in this. You could go with whatever the hell you wanted to. But, and I think it's good that we're all giving our reasons, because that gives you a little bit more of an idea of what you can do. I think that's good that you're getting multiple opinions, because for all I know, you want to do a castle and that's perfect, right? It's actually, Mornoth has a surprising... Oh, hello. It's interesting, but that also looks like Rada al-Sarayan now that I look at it. Let me wave at this guy. Good morning, Imogee. That's interesting. What is that? Kind of an evil rite going on over there. Yeah, I just did I said hello. Interesting. Oh, lots of torture. I was saying something, I've completely lost it. What is it that you're looking to make? Do you have an idea for it? Or is it something that you're just gonna try to figure out? Speaking of hourglasses. Yeah, I think I've heard plenty of people say that, so that's good. Oh, this is lovely too. Scary, but lovely. I don't know, maybe it doesn't work for me. It's too scary looking. The red is like this blood red, and I'm not sure that I really like that for my uses. It is. Oh, that looks like fire. And there you go. I mean, it looks perfect for a scary home, especially. It's got that innate glow. Uh-oh, somebody did. Great carry of the theme. Looks beautiful. Since we're talking about it, let's take a look at the differences, shall we? I'll make it real quick, because you've all seen these homes. But we'll make it a quick thing. Now, some people said Autumn's Gate. Let me show you the benefits and the drawbacks of Autumn's Gate. Now, Autumn's Gate, I tried to do a Christmas house in, which is something you might want to think about. But I found it very hard to cover the front yard in snow, especially because of the grass poking up. And unless you're using EHT to hide grass, everyone's going to see these flowers poking through your snow. So that's a real problem if you're thinking Christmas time. One thing you can do is just put a little bit of snow in spots, but you'll still have these flowers sticking up through the snow, and it just doesn't really seem... This is better for an autumnal house for that reason. This is my Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It also got, the fact that it has a yard is great. It doesn't have a second floor, so a lot of people build a second floor, and sometimes they'll break it up into pieces. Like you'll have one room here and one room here, or they'll use different levels to make it interesting. Otherwise, this house can be kind of plain, and there's nothing really wrong with that, but just saying. That's one way to look at it. We'll look at the others you mentioned. Here's my Sleek Creek. Well, you can hide it with EHT, or you could turn it off with your UI, but other people would still see it if they don't have EHT. Right. No, not gonna happen. You can do that. This is my Sleek Creek. It was for Sonia's contest. This is a garden party. It's not really a good example of a Sleek Creek because of the fact that I blocked off the house and I just used the water feature. But the idea being the water feature is really quite lovely, and you do have this beautiful idyllic kind of view here that you can build up. If you do go upstairs, that the view of the creek is spectacular. and you can build up really high in this house. Plus, the courtyard isn't so huge that you can't cover it. But if you want to go scary, I don't know how scary you can really get with this house, but I believe this, I don't know. There's more I can always add to these houses, but the point being that this is, if you wanted a water feature in your first real house, then this would be the way to go. The other one you guys mentioned was Mornoth. Oh, Blackvine Villa. Let's go to Blackvine Villa. Blackvine Villa is another one with a courtyard. It's a small courtyard, but you can build up. If you build up, you have a nice view of the river. Plus, you can build on top of the house a little bit. It's got some decent height. It is also a one-floor house that you would probably have to break up somehow, either by rooms if you want to do different themes, or by here's the yard. It's not much to it, but if you build up over here, you'll get a view of the river. Yeah, it is a challenge, definitely. Here's the river. So this is, you can build this view here. It's doable. And then the interior, this is probably not the best example of the interior either, is all one floor. And it goes back here just a tiny bit to a further alcove. You can build a second floor in this house very easily. It's also easy to close off sections with doors or curtains if that's what you want to do. Well, of course. That's where they should be doing secret Daedric experiments. That's what mine's doing. And messing it up. See? That's not an effect, by the way. That's an item. That's that Daedric portal. What was the other one you guys mentioned? Nobody mentioned Snugpod because it doesn't have a yard, but it's not terrible. Somebody said Mornoth. Where's my Mornoth? I don't know. Honestly. I don't actually have an answer for that. It's been... certainly not while I'm on drugs. Well, if they have it. If they have it and want to work with it. But Hall of the Lunar Champion is enormous. And challenging because you have some people try to build in each one. Hey, Velsidol, thanks. Some people like to build in each wing, and so it's a challenge trying to get all of that together. So this is Mornoth. Now, some people were mentioning this as a starter house. This is also a decent starter house, but remember some things. First of all, it does have a yard, which is good. You can do stuff with it. Secondly, like I said, it has a surprising amount of space for how big it is. It has a surprising amount of space. Secondly, or thirdly, it does look castle-like. You can build off of the idea that it is a castle. I found it really hard to get around Humble Mud's yard being in the backyard. Like, that bugs me, but we'll take a look at it. This is closed off, but this goes around it like a circle. And there. So you have a decent view. I'll turn off effects here. You got the view of the boat out there. I did that too. I blocked the castle off. You can do your own entirely, yes. Like, you can pull a Levati and just completely redo. I closed off everything but this room, and this room became the bank. Because I mean, I'm 398 out of 400 items in here. And it's a tight squeeze. That's something you can do. Finally, Humble Mud, we were talking about. Humble Mud also has a courtyard, but understand it's in the back. So it's more of a backyard. Secondly, the other drawback to it is a poop house. So, unless you want to cover it like Swanks covered it, you're not late, silly girl. Unless you're like Swankery and you want to cover the whole thing, you have to be okay with having a poop house. Thank you. This was my flower entry for J Hart's Build a Flower. It lives here now. This was my entry for fire for him. It's a phoenix. It lives here now. Here's the poop house. So you kind of have to figure out what you want to do with that. Let me show you Swankery's as a comparison. Not hammered up. Because this gives you an idea of what you can do with a backyard to dress it up a little bit. Mine, I didn't need to. Right. That's what I did, Azalea. I have 2 contests in there, stuck in there. Because J Hart tends to go with small builds these days. He wants small little things. Oh, you do? That's interesting. I don't even want to. She's crazy. So this is the interior of, this is what the interior normally looks like, except she added a tractor, because of course she did, of the Humble Mud. But if you go in the backyard, if you're talking about redoing the look, this is the same yard. This is the yard we just looked at with my phoenix in it. So you can completely cover it if you don't like it. See what I mean? Hello. That's just a thought. But some people, like we were saying, some people don't mind the poo houses. My ample is a poo house, and I did not cover it completely. Says Lavathi, as if she isn't too. She is amazing. But there you go. It's entirely possible to cover up the poo house. Yeah, she's really good. That's why you should follow her on Twitch. Now this was actually my 2nd or 3rd home. This was really early on for me. This was my glow house. What I wanted to do was take absolutely everything glowy that I had and put a couple of them in here. So this has a lot of glowies in it. This was early on in my career, quote unquote. And I was satisfied with it. If I had to do it over again, I would probably do it differently. But back then we didn't have a lot of glowies, so this kind of, these are recent additions, this kind of was more impressive back then. But here's the poo house, and it doesn't look bad because this is intended to be Argonian. So, for example, the interior, I went with the Argonian theme, and so it'd be silly to cover up the exterior if you're going with an Argonian theme. So this was an entry. There are, but when I started this house, it wasn't like that. So this gives you some ideas, I hope. But apartments aren't bad either. It's interesting what you can do with apartments is you can make scenes. What's really good about apartments and J. Hart's contests is that he often limits things to such a point where if you use 100 slot apartment, you can build something pretty impressive. Or when he does the snow melt, he did the snow melt contest, you know, that was limited as well. This one is only 23 out of 30 items. This was a contest for something that is no longer. So the monster doesn't look right. But it was like a frost look. So the idea being that you can do something in here which is scene-like. And for example, we'll go to the opposite extreme. Okay. Let me just show my flaming nicks and then we will. And then I'll show you the opposite. I mean, they're a repeat of last time's. So I bought a few. I mean, they're better than dead bodies. I'd take them over dead bodies any day, honestly. I like that they aren't scary shit, right? So that's better than nothing. Better than a whack on the head. So here's the opposite alternative is I went with a beach scene. So you can also go with a totally enclosed scene, right? This had other items in it I've since removed, so it looks a little bare, but you get the idea. All right, let's go to Delicious Eleanor in Golden Gryphon. So this gives you some thoughts. Apartments, sometimes people complain that this was a 30 item challenge. That's why I only have 28 items and I removed 2 of them. Yes, that's true. The fern cluster does fill a lot of space and is properly spaced between the ferns, so that looks good. You're right. I just don't know where I'd use them in my items. So here's a 30 item delicious 30 item Golden Gryphon, which is another one you can get. And you go with the theme. This is a new thing I've started to see people do, which is hiding the rose trellises in the wall in a useful way, and I think that looks really good. You can focus on making a complicated fountain like this. You can add a second floor. Actually, in most of these places, you can add a second floor. Did you do a sneaky so I would fall? Oh no, that's just where you put the waterfall. And you see here you have another bedroom with a beautiful, it's very lovely, especially for something that has only 30 items in it. There you go. So, ideas. Very many ideas. Let's hit another antiquarian because, of course, we have tons of them still to do. Let's do Guido Leonidas' antiquarian. Oh, but Lux items right now are on sale, so might as well use those too. I got like 10 of each. And I don't even know if I'll use them. That's the bad part. Alright, this is Guido Leonidas, antiquarian. No effects, 583 items, and it's very floral. You can already see there's some floral touches. I like the guar. What, in your antiquarian? Now this is good. This is something that I'm working on too, which is framing. They're framing the centerpiece. Okay, you got it. I shall switch filters now. Let's go to something silly. Yes, you can build really high. I was gonna show you guys. Now, this is something that I am also working on. Let me show you what I mean. Yeah, more glowy ferns, but ferns, yes. Not display capture, dummy. You want window capture. So this is my moon sugar. So I too am working on framing with doorways. Something to really think about is framing your focal point with arches or windows or doors or something to give it perspective, to give the person a focus as they're walking through. And as you see here, they've done the same thing. It gives you something very interesting to look at in an otherwise could be a less than stellar house. The only thing I would change, not this. This house is not than stellar. I didn't mean it about this house. I meant the base. That's like a botany garden. The only thing I would change is I would put something more decorative here to catch your eye on when you're walking through, because that's such a cool technique you used, Guido. I mean, it's gorgeous. This technique is fascinating, but I would want something like maybe the vampire window, another one or something to focus on, like right here or something. You know what I mean? Because it's begging for a centerpiece. It's just begging for it. And it's beautiful. You did a great job. I really like the technique, obviously, since I did it too. Lovely fireplace. Very cozy, with nooks to sit and talk. This too, very well done. And of course, they've broken it up. This is not how the house base looks. They've broken it up to be more interesting. They've got a kitchen in here with its own well, no less. You don't have to go out in the cold. Beautiful. I'm enjoying it very much. Now here we have the museum portion. I know we've seen a lot of antiquarians, but I'm still interested on how different they can be from one another. Oh, yay, a sweet roll. Good morning, Deviant Fishy. More of the museum with a little bedroom here. Let's check out the outside. I think out here we're going with the museum look, a stable, maybe a restaurant. Definitely a crafting spot. Pretty backyard. I wish the willows weren't crown only. They kill me that they're crown only. Here's a little margeaux-ish centerpiece. I'm more of a practical area for training, enchanting, things like that. Very interesting. I like it a lot. It's got some really good ideas in it. All right. let's look at a different thing. We're going to go to a non-antiquarian. We're going to go just, didn't we do this? Dracenfer's vaca kuzul? I could swear I did it already with you guys, but I'm not certain. Let me check. Somebody is so trolling. You know, it's the same thing. So did I. So I love the ideas being like getting your mind sort of going with ideas is definitely very helpful. All right, just transfer. We want category housing. Okay. I have not done dracenfer's thing on stream. This is 700 out of 700. This is lakemire. Vaca kuzul. I think they really went with their own kind of Zanmire idea here. Let's go up first because it's one floor. So, also with Zanmire, you have the same problem with too much space for a limited amount of items. So blocking off a portion of it, like the top floor, which is kind of useless space in some situations, I think is a good idea. This is stunning. All right, so we've got the fish tank, but look at this little cove they built here with crystals and flowers and trees and water and stone. It's just a gorgeous little spot for enjoying looking around and stuff. And then you've got a library. Libraries are a good way to fill space because there's something to look at. They also come very large, some of them. Not so much these. That one, those up there, the margeaux libraries are better, I think size-wise. Unless you're trying to squeeze in stuff or have a look like this person does with the alien ones, I kind of lean towards the Eleanor or something else like that, or the margeaux, so that it has takes up a lot of space. The bigger the item, the easier it is to fill up your home when your home is limited. I mean, you only have 700 items, so I tend to use the most. Oh, they did it in green. Yeah, I know. Too much space with just bleh. So they did a similar thing here, but they dyed it green. That was more of a purpley blue. This one is green. Isn't that lovely? It's like two little scenes. Over here, it's just flowers and loveliness, so you could sit there, and then like covering the vines, the glowy vines are a good move in here too. It really lends itself to it. They've used the azure, which makes a ton of sense because you would think it would just naturally have that look. And the creative vines and stuff, I think, maybe. Oh, they closed off the basement too, which frankly I think is a really good idea because I don't think the basement looks good, first off, and I don't think that the basement really adds anything, usually. Oh, they closed off the top, too. Wow. So, you're supposed to really enjoy, I think, and I did, the little scenes, the little vignettes in there. But I think we can go... Do we go up this way? Or not? Is it meant to? I don't think so. So there you go. Another way to do it. And now you're going to hate me because we're going to Magic Wands Antiquarian because we're going to split them up. Hey, Nara. some people were saying they'd love to see how a lot of different people do the same house, so here you go. That's what you're getting, whether you like it or not, because we're running low. People are just, I think because the contests are coming up, we're in a lull. I couldn't get to the water portal. I guess I could have gone up through. Good point. We can go back, but I'll check it on my spare time. This is 600 out of 600. And I think they went museum. If I had to guess. Oh, lovely. Kitchen. So far I'm wrong. That's an interesting stove. That's an expensive stove is what it is, with all of those coals. Quite lovely. Excuse me. This is a crafting area, obviously. Cooking, crafting. Maybe this is a home base. This could be a home base house, like where you decorate it up, and you have your achievements and stuff, but it also has all your crafting materials and whatnot. Yeah, this could be that. That's interesting placement. I wouldn't have put them there. Yes. I was using it yesterday to find music boxes. See? So a lovely little bedroom up here. Nice. I felled. Even got a little pet here. Oh, good use of the music box, speaking of. Very nice. I'm on NA. I'm also on serious pain meds, so I'm a little wonky this morning. Hey, Christy. Nice to see you. Christy runs the housing contests for ETU, which I appreciate greatly. Because, by the way, I have a jellyfish on my head. That's what this filter is. I'm just being a goofball. Because ETU probably wouldn't have them without Christy. She does a lot of the events. So I appreciate that. So more little stuff in the back. A little spot to drink. Go drinking. And then, yeah, I would say that this is probably an achievement house. The achievements, all the things that you've gotten, your cool stuff. Little wine and cheese tasting. That's what I would say this. Make sure you update libGPS and all of the other libs that have recently been updated. There have been issues. I would also try uninstalling. Sure. What are you on, NA or EU? I would try uninstalling. No, it is not. It's something that drops off at Charis's. You can also buy it in a trader because it's not bound. You're on NA? What is your name, Nara Elling? And which house? Yeah. I could probably get to it even if you don't log in. You can just tell me. And I can go that way. If it doesn't work, this is my recommendation, is that you uninstall it and reinstall it. Okay. Oh, another one. You got it. Doom, doo, 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 doo. Hammy's been playing RimWorld again, and it's completely like sticking in my head. Why are you being... I didn't mean to flick you at all. Why are you opening? Go away. I do love this house. This house is a gift on multiple levels. Yeah, but sometimes just don't delete. No matter what you do, don't delete your saved variables. Don't, because that saves all your data. So we got 332 out of 600, so you could still add more, but you've got more than half, which is my limit, and I appreciate that. Because a lot of times people will show it off and it's just got like 100 items, and I'm like, why? So. Ooh, pretty. We've got some good ideas here. We've got, I don't think I've seen anybody put the stained glass on the floor yet. I see it with the in this house, I mean. I see it with the other one, the Dark Brotherhood stained glass. A lot of times people bury that one into the floor, but this is new. It's an interesting technique, which means the lights will shine up instead of down. Yeah, but your library is quite nice too. With all the moon vines, that's a good touch. No more. Nara was asking me this morning, why do I always have filters on? Well, because it's fun. All right, let's put, let's do this one. We'll just be a nice, pretty one, and then the next one will be a silly one again. These are just earrings and a head thing. You can see I don't have a ton of makeup on, or any. And then we've got either barracks or more of like an inn going on. Or someone's bedroom. I'm going. I wanted it to see the inside though. Alright. This one, it's called Summer Head Band, or Summer Head Wrap. The other one was Jellyfish Hat. So we've got a crafting spot. That's what most people turn this into, because it makes sense. I note you added a lot more trees, which looks good. Or at least enough that it's very noticeable. Snapchat. Here I thought you were picking on me for using filters, and now you're like, now you're asking me how to do it. It's funny. Because Nara was watching Hammy with me this morning, and she's like, I've never seen you without a filter. And I'm like, for 2 years I streamed without filters. This is just for fun, though. It's goofy. It's a way for people to use the stream points. Because they can use... Okay, good. They can use 500 street points to change the filter and have me put on something silly, right? Every 10 minutes, if they want to. This is more practical. I noticed with the fighting thing. Yes, coffee. You're fine, sweetheart. You've given me a lot of ideas. What Nara does a lot of times, well, I think all the time now, she speaks in ASMR type voice, and she has a really, really, really good mic. Very expensive and very good. It picks up a lot of sound, and she uses it. Fantastic. She has a good voice for it. Yeah, you can change it at any time. I don't care. Every 10 minutes at least. Otherwise, I'd be doing it all the time. Yeah, the corner flowers are very natural looking. Those look lovely as well. I mean, I think you might want to add more antiquities as you get there, but I think you've done a really good job. It's... just let me know. See, that's what I was saying, Nara, is that I wasn't going to keep doing filters, but people have fun with them. People actually enjoy them, especially the really silly ones. People get a real kick out of them. It is. It's beautiful. Yeah, it is. Why am I looking at DecoTrack? Open houses. Okay, so let's see. What else did I save? That isn't an antiquarian. I saved Captain Margot's Place, Thalmor Office from Evarelia. So let's break things up. Yeah, there's a really cool one that I'm a little worried about using. Let me think on that. This is one, I don't think I can get away with using this one for long. It's a Diwali one, but it's so beautiful. Look at this. But it's kind of like cultural appropriation to have, but it's beautiful, isn't it? I really like this one. I think it's beautiful. Okay, so this is the I'm going to leave it on for a little bit, even though I probably shouldn't. This is the Thalmor Office by Evarelia. The dragonfly one is goofy as hell. I will put that on after. The dragonfly one does crack people up. This is the Thalmor Office, done in Captain Margot. So 105 out of 200 items, no effects. And it's, I mean, you know the Thalmor. I think we all know the Thalmor. And look at this great usage of sinking the altar into the wall. Hopefully it's cultural appreciation. I hope that no one gets mad at me for it, because if they did, I would change it. That's interesting little slot for the safe. This does look so Thalmor-y, doesn't it? And this is a hand-done desk here, very office-like, because over here we've got the, gosh, nope, I'm not going to be able to select it. That's absolutely ridiculous. Whatever that piece is. And then she flipped one way and flipped one the other, and I think that's really smart because it lets you put paper and other things in the shelves. It's such a small house, and she did a lot with it. And look at the background. You've got all sorts of amazing stuff going on, but this fireplace, of course, is kind of hand built in a way, because on the one hand it's there is a fireplace in this house, but on the other hand they really built it up. It didn't look like this, obviously. Library, nice touches. The back is brass, and you've got curves to the walls. It's really just quite fascinating what she's done here. And if you notice, she has a greenhouse in here. See, breaking it up as well, and lots of curtains and carpet, and I think it makes it very warm. I like it. So I just wanted to show that one off to you. Let's do another non-antiquarian. Let's look at zanosuz Resort. Now, I believe I've shown this to you before once, many moons ago, but I'm not certain. So let's double check. I've shown a lot of zanosuz's house because she is super talented. It's hard to tell. Okay, so we're in a resort in Grand Psijic. And you've got Excuse me. Nose is so itchy. She closed off this whole section really well with both fencing and ivy and hedges and all sorts of stuff. It looks really good. And then when you come over here, here's where the real resort starts, okay? You've got a little dressing area for getting changed, because this here is your little pool, which is sort of attached to the ocean. And nobody's gonna eat me for once. These trees have given us such life in our homes. I'm so happy about them. The maples and the pretty floral ones. I really, really appreciate that they gave us those. Now in here we have like a real greenhouse library. Isn't that lovely? With combo trees combined. And then you get wet here. Doesn't it make you want to go on a vacation? I would love to. Got Ferrari on a boat out there. Some snacks. Kitchen. You got numisma, crushing grapes. Well, so far the only two I know of are jester's trees and ginkgos, but not a lot of people use the jester's trees. Ooh, look at this pool. Isn't that cool? It's a little food pool. Food pool. Like floating food pool? I don't know what to call it. I don't know if you knew about the jester's trees, but if you're curious, I'll show you real quick. I think I incorporated both of them. This is here. So obviously you notice the ginkgos here have the petal effect. These are the ones you get in Eleanor. There are also jester's trees. These are jester's trees. These purpley trees. And these, if you've participated in the Jester's Festival, you can get these at the World Vendor, I think. Or the holiday vendor, all year round, as long as you've unlocked them. And they're really beautiful. The only difference between them and the other kinds is they have thorns. And I suppose that's what they think is all creepy about it, but I don't know why they think that, because I don't think so. I don't think it's creepy at all. I think it's fine, because lots of things with petals have thorns. Not really sure what that's all about. Then you have, so that's how you can use them, is combine them. Yes, they have other crazy stuff. Is have the pink and the purple dropping at the same time. And that's it. I suppose you could also use the red petals, but I don't know. I don't know. That's my suggestion. Now, alternatively, you can also use the effect. Where is it? You can use leaves. which can also double for, where are they? Where did I put them? They take a minute to come down because, here they go. Let's pick a color that's really going to stand out so you can see them. Let's do bright green or something. You see these leaves? With EHT, you can set those to any color you want. Yeah, they're beautiful. And then you have other falling petals, right? That's if you want. Just saying. Let me get rid of that effect because oh, that reminds me. Well, I have a ton of videos in my Discord if you're curious. There's a whole channel of EHT training videos, and they're usually all short. There's not much to them. And unlike Cardi's, who I'm not picking on Cardi's, Cardi actually has videos as well, but mine are actually I speak over it, so there's words. Now, what I wanted to do was add a rainbow here. Where's the rainbow? We get a lens flare if you want it, a solar flare if you want it. Well, that's pretty, as if you're not blinded. Oh, weather, they're not animations either. Are they landscaping? Rainbow. Here you go. A subtle little rainbow. Now, since this is my house that I'm dedicating to my beloved cat who passed, you guys can kind of get the meaning that it's the Rainbow Bridge. And I might put another one right here as well to kind of drive the point home. Oh, you got time. No one's rushing you. There you go. Rainbow Bridge. I am really foggy from my meds, so we'll do one more house. So exclamation point, potato. Oh, yep, here, we talked about me doing the dragonfly. I don't know if Nara's still in the channel. Nara, you're still here? If not, I won't do the dragonfly. We'll go Viking. If she's here, I'll switch it to the dragonfly. Why am I out of focus? I'm out of focus. All right, let's do one more. Silence. You know, my recommendation is, and always has been, use a storage house. Your idea is fantastic, Azalea, and if it works for you, that's great. But if you really want to screw things up and just mess with things, make it a mess, you know, I'd use a storage house. That way you can really make it look bad. Because you're going to at first. It's going to look bad at first. That's what's going to happen. So, of course, I pick an insanely complex, amazing one. 2 effects, 540 items, and we've got clearly what appears to be a little bit of a steampunky home here with a unique appearance, certainly. Completely different than the others we've seen today for sure, because they put the kitchen outside. Hey, whatever you like. Yeah, it's fun to try different things. What I try to do with each build is learn the tools a little better. I think I've learned a lot with my most recent Moon Sugar build about spirals, stairs, and other circles, and other sizes of items, like how to make them work better together. My math isn't so good. This is museum-y inside. My math isn't so good. So a lot of times, for me, it isn't quite obvious the way that things will work together, or what numbers work in each situation. It's just not obvious. And sometimes I have to drag the hubby in, because he knows how to do maths. I still stand by a little bit of steampunk, though. Well, that's interesting with the different heights of the lights. I like that a lot. I wonder what the second effect is. There was a time where I decided to do an entire effect house. And that's a good way to learn how to play with effects. It's just do a house full of them and see what you can make. I did Candyland that way. It's no longer alive because I hated it, but the point is that I learned how to do effects by doing it. So that was the point. Alright, I'm going to pull the contest, so hopefully you all entered. What's going on? Why are you clicked? Alright, cool. Alright, and the giveaway we're gonna do. Winner is Volcidol. Volcidol, are you on? You're on NA, aren't you? Congrats. I don't think you've won before either. Little crafting area. Look at this cozy little home. Now this is what I was thinking about doing, something similar to my greenhouses. So that's cool. Yeah, first time winner. It's always nice when people win for the first time. Look at this little multi-layer, extra interesting kind of situation here. Adding layers and floors and broken up rooms really makes things so interesting. Look at that. Look at that. That is really slick. I like how they made this wall a window. Essentially what they've done is use the windows of the house and then put masonry around it. Volcidol, are you NA or EU? Can you remind me? Oh, handmade, probably EHT made floor, stairs. NA. Okay, that way I'll send it. Hello, Irish. We did your house first. How are you not on? You must be in none of my guilds. Alright, there you go. Congo rats. Oh, this looks really nice too. Look at that. Half of it is covered and half of it isn't. That's slick. And you get the waterfall too. Really well done. Oh, this is... It's... What's the word? It seems simple. It's deceptively seeming simple, but it really is kind of cool what all the things they were able to do just by making a separate little housey thing out of it. Really cool. I'm impressed with it. I'm super impressed with it. I might take some ideas from it too. Alright folks, I am not doing so good, so I'm going to drop you off with someone if you guys don't mind. Let me see if I can find somebody. I am just bad shape right now. And I wasn't good last night either, so. But I'll make sure you get somebody who you'll get drops with. In case you want to just go lurk or whatever. Raid! Thank you. I appreciate it. Nara's probably streaming. Or she isn't. Alright, I'm gonna drop you off with UESP, the guild. They're really awesome. And I'm gonna say hi to them too.